everybody, welcome in to Off the Table. John Lunsford, Laurel Lunsford, Sean Rockstar Henniger on a rainy, stormy day here recording this, typically doing it on a Monday. How was everybody's weekend?
School was canceled today. We had a email last night that said we are going to delay opening 3 hours. We're going to open at 11. And then at 6 this morning, hey, we're just not going to open. See you guys tomorrow. See you guys on, today's the 31st. See you guys tomorrow.
The first day of April Fool's Day.
Yeah, so
maybe we cancel tomorrow. You don't know.
My son has been out of school since last Tuesday. They had spring break Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
What'd you do?
They didn't get a whole week for spring break?
No, I thought it was weird that they had. Well, I at least give us that. I think the spring break was for the teachers. But yeah, we have been playing, gone to playgrounds. We have gone to parks. We have gone to the point where we have to wear him out. So finally, I think on Friday, he finally took a nap. He doesn't take naps anymore, which is, you miss those days. 2-hour nap, you could sleep with him. It was great. But he doesn't take naps anymore. But Friday, he was so exhausted, he took a nap.
I don't really take naps much anymore. I used to when we used to work the morning shift.
Oh, yeah,
I would have to take a nap. But I find now I'm groggy and I can't sleep at night. So it's just an endless cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to be able to take, in the early days of the morning show, I would love taking, that was, because you knew waking up that early in the morning, like, oh, at least in a few hours I can take a nap. I can take and that would be like an hour and a half to 2-hour nap every day.
I couldn't do naps. Like, y'all worked mornings a lot longer than I did. I only worked with you for 5 months, but I did mornings at another radio station with iHeart, and I had to be there at 4 in the morning. Like, actually be there at 4 to start work, and I couldn't do naps. Like, that's even earlier than I would even come when I was doing mornings with y'all. Like, if I took a nap at all, I might as well just sleep until I get up for work.
Well, just if you had to wake up at 4 or be at work at 4, what time are you going to bed?
I usually went to bed about, I would lay in bed and I would watch the beginning of whatever was on Adult Swim at the time. So it would be like King of the Hill or Family Guy or something like that. I'd watch that to go to sleep, and that was like 7 or 8. And so I'd go to bed about
and it's
then.
really because I would like to go out and because I would go to trivia or something, and then you get to a point and it's like, I don't think I can go to sleep because I don't think I'll be able to properly wake up.
Well, back then I was playing bars and stuff like that where smoking was still legal indoors. So I had come home just reeking of cigarette smoke. Like I can't just get in bed like this at 1 a.m. Like I got to wake up in 4 hours, 3 hours. I have to take a shower because I just can't go to sleep. Those were awful nights.
And it's like we always knew when the time changed because it would be really dark, and then it's like, oh wow, it's light now. It's 5:45 in the morning. It's light outside.
Yeah, it'd be for like 2 weeks. You'd be like, wow, this is great. Then it'd go back to dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
morning jobs are fun.
Morning. I also never got the appeal of having to start radio at 6 a.m. every day. Like, who is realistically on the road? Like, most people are on the road, I feel like 7:30 to 8:30 is kind of, because if you're going to work to start
their shifts.
I mean, I'm not saying there's not anybody,
Mm-hmm.
but like if you're trying to reach the mass of people, I feel like you're usually starting work at 8:30 or 9 to where you're on the road between like 7:30 and 8:30 or so is the average time, to where like start everything at 7. I just don't understand 6. I feel like 7 is a much better time. And you know what? That extra hour to start at 7 as opposed to 6 is gold if you can potentially
right.
get it.
You're thinking about getting up and like getting kids ready for school and everything. It's not like, hey, pop on the radio while we get ready. Like you have cartoons on or something like that.
I mean,
and
radio as a whole,
and it's
kind of
chaos trying to get everybody fed.
Okay,
what did y'all listening to the radio?
What did y'all used to watch? Did you used to watch TV when you were getting ready for school?
No, I did not turn that TV on until I got home.
You didn't ever watch Saved by the Bell? See, I watched Saved by the Bell reruns and MTV when they used to play music videos.
I do remember in first grade, my sister was in second. We would always watch She-Ra, Princess of Power was on, because it was on just, we could watch the first commercial break, and that's when our carpool would pick us up. So I remember She-Ra, Princess of Power. I do remember Saved by the Bell. For a while they had Full House on.
Yeah.
But it was only almost like background, like you're just walking around. Like,
yeah, that's right. I had to have
I'm
something
not awake
on.
enough to watch anything in the morning.
Oh, no,
I'm not awake enough to even exist in the morning, much less pay attention to anything.
I think I'm like Laurel and you're like my wife. You're like Nancy. You can get ready. You can be, you just do it in silence? Like no TV, nothing on?
Even just
Like,
talking to Laurel. I just ignore her half the time, and she's like, "Is something wrong?" And I'm like, "No, I just woke up. I'm just tired. I'm in my own little bubble."
I have to have something too. I cannot just have silence. I cannot do it.
I don't know if you realize this, but every time I walked into the office, whether it was at our last job, the job before that, whatever, I always kept my sunglasses on until I went and sat down at my desk. I did not exist in that world until I took my sunglasses off. And so when I had my sunglasses on, I had not shown up at work yet.
Wow.
Like in my mind. And honestly, that's kind of how I am from the minute I wake up until the minute I take my sunglasses off. I'm in my own little bubble until then.
Wow.
And there's a reason I walk in with my sunglasses on every single day. Like,
you need to give people the memo that, like, if people don't understand it. I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to tell everybody. I'm very high maintenance. You know? If my sunglasses are on, leave me alone, people. I will not talk to you. But it's like, I mean, so we were on the 4th floor at the next round to where, like, I would ride the elevator. I'd walk in with my sunglasses on, ride the elevator up, my sunglasses on, go into the office with the sunglasses on, sit down, and
so
then
that's like literally you clocking in is when you take them off. That's like I'm clocked in.
You know how in Big Daddy he gives him the sunglasses to make him like disappear or whatever because he's nervous to go out. That's the way I am. Like if I had the sunglasses on, I am not there. You do not know that I am there. I just appear at my desk as far as I'm concerned because then I take my sunglasses off and then it's like,
it's time to go to work.
Hey, Rocky, what's up? I'm here. I'm at work now.
How does that differ than when I used to work with you? What did I used to come in like?
Hey guys.
Yeah,
I brought cookies and snacks and oh my gosh, did you see this on TV last night? And it's in the morning and everybody's like, I want to kill everybody.
We get there like 5:30, 5:45. Never once saw her in a ball cap. Oh, just like I just woke up.
I was dressed to the nines.
I'm just saying every time. Like I was like, I've never seen you not like just like I couldn't do it today. I'm just going to put a hat on.
I wore flats one time, and
we talked about it.
Oh,
right when you left.
I won't say who it was because it wasn't anyone with y'all, but it was on another one of the shows, and they saw that I had flats on because a lot of the times I would wear heels, and they were like, did you just give up? Like, have you given up? And I was like,
I like how I wear sweatpants and a hoodie every day to work. You wear flat shoes one time. What's wrong with you?
You set a standard. She would bring candy all the time, and I finally shut it down. I was like, you got to stop because everybody's expecting. Because one day, like, she couldn't do it, and it was like, what? No donuts? And it's just like because everybody expects it now.
What would kill me is that by the time we would come on the air with primetime at 6 at night. You would get there at 6 in the morning, and then when y'all moved to mornings at 6 in the morning, at 6 at night, there's one certain person who we all know that would walk in and be like, "Why is there no candy in here?" If there was no candy in there, and it's like it's 6 p.m., dude. People have already left for like a couple hours. Either it has been eaten throughout the day, or it's like, but they automatically went to Laurel forgot to bring it.
Yeah.
It's not
or
that
she doesn't care anymore.
Maybe just people ate it throughout the day.
I gave up.
They eat free food like monsters, and
I had the flat shoes on, hair flat.
Just, like, why did Laurel give up on life? There's not any Skittles in here.
She's probably got another job.
What?
She's already given them candy.
Speaking of candy, okay, so on which we finally had the kitchen fixed, which you got to see some of it, and the dryers moved too. So now we can fully walk into the kitchen.
I got a washateria and a functioning kitchen.
It's a dream. But you came over and we filmed, which that will be up today. We filmed a funny.
Well, this will be a nice break. Explain what it is, and then we'll show it in the middle of the show.
Oh, okay. Well, we did a take on The Woman in the Yard, which is a new scary film that Jon and I saw. Sean will never, but you might see it on the TV.
I ain't going to the theater anytime soon.
I think you would like it, but
it is boring as hell for the first 85% of it.
I disagree.
For the first 85%.
Until you get to like who the woman in the yard is.
I think
and
you'll
why
like
she's
it
there.
all together because I know the movies you like.
I would have given it a 0 out of 5 until we got to the end, and then I was like, okay, the end sort of kind of justified the means a little bit to where it's okay.
Anyways, we came up with this idea because I feel like it would be perfect for you to be the rock star in the yard.
Oh, wow.
Because you just suddenly appear. It's just you. Like, you don't never know where you are. And then just
I never know where I'm booked or if I have been booked.
So here's the world premiere of The Rockstar in the Yard.
Is it on the screen?
No, we'll put it up there.
Okay, I'm almost got everything ready for the party. You did book the musician. That's the only thing I asked you to do, right?
Yeah, of course. I'll book somebody.
Okay, all right. Well, I just told him to start setting up outside, and I'll let you know when I'm ready.
Oh, man, I gotta find somebody last second.
When the sun is bright and you're feeling bored, he comes to you with the strum of a chord. black jacket, a song he will write. Once he's played his 2 hours, he'll disappear from your sight.
Today's the day. Right? It's today. You want to pay cash? I also can do Venmo.
Wow, that was good. It was so funny.
Wow.
I mean, you looked good in the. I liked the veil. I think it worked.
I just want to know why you're creeping in my yard wearing a black veil.
Would you rather me not wear a veil?
Our neighbors
I
probably
hope
have
it's not
no
for the same
clue.
reason in the movie.
Our neighbors probably have no clue what's been going on in this yard. Like,
I
they
didn't
have
even
no
think
clue.
of that.
And we got the dumpster. We got a sink. We've got
A guy in a veil with a
they
guitar
probably
in
like
black.
The Beverly Hillbillies.
We have been trashy people to our neighbors because we have a big dumpster that's a gross dumpster that's in our driveway. We have a plastic sink that's been just sitting in our yard for. Laurel finally moved it down to the driveway.
I couldn't
but
take it. I threw it in a
probably sat there.
rage.
It probably
Just
sat there for
couldn't
2
handle
weeks
it.
just in the middle of our yard. And everybody has asked me why we don't have a porta potty in our yard because
That's true.
I asked my parents. My parents just got there doing remodeling their bathroom in their house in their master suite, and she asked me like, "Do y'all have a porta potty?" Because she knew we had a dumpster, and I said, "No, we don't. They've just been using our guest bathroom." And she's like, "Why? They need to bring a porta potty." Like, I don't know anybody that just assumes you can use the guest
That is true
bathroom.
because that is very invasive.
So every day. So Laurel sits in the bathroom or in the bedroom while they work. She sits in the bedroom with our dog because our
door
dog's
locked.
barking.
Well, I'm on that walking pad, man. I'm telling you, watching I Love Lucy. That's my day.
Our guest bathroom is right next to our bedroom. Like you walk into this little like hallway and it's like bathroom, bedroom right there. It's our guest bathroom is closer to where I get out of bed than our master bathroom is. It's I don't or at least the toilet is because if you wake up in the middle of the night, I just go to the guest bathroom. I don't even use the toilet in the master bathroom because it's further away. I know it's lazy, but I just like the one better
Y'all
too.
live in
There,
a mansion.
but they use that one nonstop, and Laurel every day is texting me. He's in there going number 2. Like I can hear him
Well,
in
Because
there.
they're clogging things. I can hear the plunger.
I'm like, I don't
And what
know
am I
what
to
to
do?
tell
I'm
you.
on that walking pad. I
Flush, you
can hear.
bastards.
I can just see. I can hear. But anyways, what I was getting to was talking about candy. Is that you tried? You're at our house. We were filming the video, and
Yeah.
I told you I was like, "Will you try some of this Swedish candy because it's so popular in the social media TikTok
Sweden.
world?"
Yeah.
And you said it was sweet.
It was very sweet. I had got fake teeth.
My question is, do you ever, I know you do, but do you ever get taken in by, do you see things, like, are you easily influenced? Like, I'm going to buy this. Like, everyone's talking about this. Like, I have to try this food or I have to.
No.
See, I feel like I definitely am. And I feel
Well, I
like
know
you
I
do.
am. Like,
Well, like I saw the Super Bowl commercial. Like I think my mom was intense by it. The lava Reese's cup, the chocolate lava Reese's cup.
yeah, I do want to try that.
I think I saw it for the first time somewhere. I was like, I've seen the commercial for the Super Bowl at every gas station or grocery store. Nobody, like, they're not even having advertising for it. Like, it's not like it's out of stock. It's just not there. And then I think there was at a Walgreens the other day. I was like, hey, they got that, but I didn't get it.
Is there anything, okay, growing up, was there anything that either one of you were like, I have to have this? Like, this is like going on the Christmas list, or like you had to beg your parents,
was
like,
only
I have to
ever
have this.
Food? You talking about food or toys?
Anything, like toys, food,
For me, it's only
clothing.
ever whatever the latest
Jordans?
video game is. But
Is
if
that
I
what you
could-
boys wanted, was like Jordan shoes?
I had a pair of Jordans, but it wasn't like
I
had
have
to
one pair
them.
of Jordans, and you bought them for me like a year ago. But like, it was always a video game. But I usually wasn't patient enough to wait for like Christmas. Now, if there's like a whole new console, that may be one thing. But if it's a new game, I would usually just get it. The only thing I can remember really wanting for Christmas was I wanted a Furby when I was little, and I got it, and I played with it for like that day and never touched it again.
Did no one here want a Tamagotchi?
No.
Do you think I had a Tamagotchi? I had a
Yes.
whole.
They probably had an army.
I
on it.
I have an R2D2
Small.
Tamagotchi. She got me one time. It's just like
I thought you were gonna play with
throw
it
it in the Easter basket kind of thing or whatever. And well, I don't know why she thought I was gonna play with it.
because I thought you were into the Tamagotchis.
So like
at
you
one
know the
point.
Tamagotchi is like the little thing, like the little you let it poop, you let it eat, you try not to kill it. It's an R2D2 version of that. So I don't know that an R2D2 has to poop or not, but the thing is, it has a little pull thing that like once you pull it, then it like activates. I am afraid to pull it because the minute I pull it, it's going to start beeping and screaming and
So we haven't even
pooping
opened it
and
yet.
everything. So it's sitting on my desk, and she's like, "Let's just play with it." And I said, "The minute I do that, I'm going to be down here in my because it's sitting on my desk in my office." I was like, "It's a nice reminder of Laurel got me a gift." But outside of that, I don't want to touch it because it's going to start going. Ooh! It's like, what the hell? This stupid Tamagotchi is screaming at me.
So every time I go over to my parents' house, like to drop something off or to pick anything up, my mom has to give me something. Like she's like, I've been cleaning up, and like you have to have this.
Please
it's like
get this crap out of my
it's
house.
like here's your yearbook from first grade. Like you have to have this. So my mom gave me a big treasure chest of things. I opened it up. I kid you not, there was like 10 Tamagotchis and like 10 I think they're called Geopats. That was like the knockoff version.
What'd you do? Like kill one and just go buy another one?
No, I just I was going at all times. I had like a whole fleet.
Do you have like names for them and stuff?
Yes, you have to name them.
There's old, Flippy Flu.
It's just like
Flippity Flute was a good one. Mine was, I never got it. I remember being influenced by a commercial. There was a show on HBO called Buy Me That. It's for kids. Because it would show like, hey kids, like when they show G.I. Joe commercials, like they have all these action sequences. They're on the dirt, like on the AstroTurf. It's like that's not really what comes because kids be like, oh, I want to play like that. When they show like, if you buy these Jordans, they'll make you jump higher, and it was really cool. It's called Buy Me That. But there was a game called Fireball Island, and I remember the commercial was insane because it's a board game.
Oh, I do kind of remember this.
I don't remember that at all.
I think my brother had that.
And because the commercial was just like all graphics and like just like amazing, and I was like, I gotta have Fireball Island. I never got it for Christmas, but then I saw it like in person. I was like, that looks awful. We were never a board game family. We never had a game
I've always
night.
wanted to be into board games. I don't have I can't focus enough on it.
We never did get, so I was like, I'm so glad I didn't, because I think I asked it for like 3 consecutive years for Christmas and I never got it. And I was like, I'm so glad because I know I would never have played that.
I was going to drag it over, but it didn't go.
I was
It's
influenced. Do you remember the movie You've Got Mail?
Yes.
I was obsessed with Meg Ryan because she was in every romantic comedy I saw as like a kid. And
Jover's
I was like, I've always had long hair, except for a period in time when I wanted to cut my hair like that. And you had to picture, I was in like the 4th grade when this movie came out, and I was like, I gotta get my hair cut. My mom was like, I don't think you're gonna like it. And so we went to Head Start, and I was
good.
like, and they were gonna give me Meg Ryan's haircut. I had a picture printed off of the printer. I give
like a
it
color printer where it's like not all of it's like still wet.
I was just gonna say this one. It took forever for my hair to grow out too. It took
Do you have a
years.
picture?
Oh, I've got pictures, but you will never see that.
Well, why bring it up then?
We can't see it.
Like
Yeah.
Ellen, you know how Ellen DeGeneres' hair looks a lot of the time?
Yeah.
That's about what it looked. It did not look like
Meg Ryan.
It did not look like that. And it took years to grow. I probably did not have long hair again until I was probably in like the 9th grade. It took forever to grow out. But
What film was it from? Like, did you want the haircut?
You've Got Mail.
Okay.
I was like, I have to. Like, this
I know
is,
she had a short haircut.
she had like
in Top
the
Gun.
cute, like little, pixie cut.
Yeah.
But also, I didn't look like that, so the hairstyle's not going to.
Head Start, the girl, like, yeah, I can do this. She just starts buzzing you.
You know the Head Start people. Are
Did
like,
you have
oh,
blonde
yeah,
hair?
babe." No.
Because, I mean, your hair is naturally brown.
I wanted
so
to
it's
dye my hair blonde, like Britney Spears, a few years later, and I
Did you get a Head Start?
So I went to a salon this
Sport
time,
cuts?
and
Ooh, fancy this
they
time.
said, yes, we can do this. I said blonde, and I was like, oh, blonde highlights. I was in probably 6th grade at this point, and they said, yes, we can do that. It was red. They gave me red hair, so I had these like chunky red highlights.
Hey,
with
did you have
like,
a picture of it?
Yes, I have pictures. I think I've told my mom, I was like, please burn these. Like, I can't
You
risk
need the memories
video.
for your, what are they called? Memory box. What are they called?
Oh yeah, the what do they call it? It is like a memory box, but Hope Chest.
know.
Hope
So,
chest,
yeah.
sure.
See, okay, I was going to bring this up because we don't ever talk pop culture, but I think we can now because I think you'll know who these people are. Speaking of Meg Ryan,
I never taught pop culture, yeah.
So growing up, I think for all of our culture, I think the celebrity culture, which is very different for females like myself, it was very heavy because that was in like the late 90s, mid 2000s. That's all we cared about. Like it was like we were, because that's when TMZ was really popular.
Perez Hilton.
Perez Hilton, like that was that stuff that everyone looked at. Do you remember when Meg Ryan cheated on Dennis Quaid, which is like fine, whatever, with Russell Crowe? Does anyone remember that? See, this is about every time I mention a celebrity couple to John
I know
never
the 3 people
knows.
you just mentioned.
I know
but that's
Randy
it.
Quaid and Meg Ryan were a couple.
Okay, so
but
we
I
do
didn't
have a
know.
new couple that everyone is going to be a
Dennis
buzz
Quaid, right?
with. Do you
Yeah.
know who Sydney Sweeney
Yeah,
is?
Randy.
I know who it is.
Do you know who Glenn Powell is?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I think I did.
He was in
Twister?
Top Gun. He was in
Is he
Twisters.
Twister? Okay, yes,
So
I know who he is.
They were in this movie called Anyone But You as a romantic comedy, and it was a lot of it thought people were like, oh, okay, this is his marketing there because she's engaged and he had a girlfriend. Well, his girlfriend like dumped him like after they started filming the movie and like kind of was like, hey, I think they're having like a thing. But people were like, oh, this is just marketing from the movie, but they like played into it. Well, I don't know how much they actually were playing into it because she broke up with her fiance and like they're
Oh, she's
like,
method.
a lot of people are saying that they're like a
what I keep
couple
saying.
now. And I was like, finally, we're back to like the late 90s, early 2000s of like couples that, you know, meet. Because Zendaya, I would say Tom Holland and Zendaya are a big one. You know who Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are? Like, those are.
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah. But in my time, my favorite couple was Jennifer Aniston and Brad
Brad
Pitt.
Pitt.
Oh, don't even bring it up.
I
I'm still heartbroken.
cannot believe
the
I
way
would-
what he did to her.
I cannot believe I am admitting this. I'll admit this on this podcast. I was in the 9th grade and I was at a cheerleading competition in Orlando.
She broke down in tears.
So we were
Did you have a
downstairs.
pixie cut?
It was finally growing out. It was because I had my hair like.
You know, tell me you never did the Rachel.
Oh
if you're gonna,
no, I did. It was like the longer Rachel, so I had like the hair grown out a little bit, and we were downstairs getting the continental breakfast. You know, all the moms and like because everyone was abuzz from the the cheerleading competition, and we were staying at the DoubleTree in Orlando, and we were downstairs. And it came on the news. They had CNN, and they were like, it was like breaking news. It was like Brad Pitt has filed for divorce, or Jennifer Aniston has filed for divorce. We had a performance later on. I wasn't right in the head.
No.
I was like,
All I imagine is like Laurel left the lobby. It's pouring down rain. She's in the parking lot on her knees. No,
Yeah.
No.
All you hear is a
In the
flat
pouring
my
line.
down
mom
rain.
still brings it up. She was like, you were really upset. I was upset. I know that is so stupid, but I mean, also I was like 15. So like, what were my problems really? But I was like, I can't believe this is happening. Love does not exist. Like
No,
I
it
can't do it.
doesn't. If they can't make it work, how am I gonna have that?
What is
anybody.
like? Okay, so everyone remembers Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston. Remember Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman?
Richard Gere and Cindy Crawford?
Yes,
Yeah.
Richard Gere and Cindy Crawford. So did you know that they were married?
Yes, I did.
Okay. What's their? There was not Randy Quaid, Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan. That was a big story when she was cheating on him with Russell Crowe, which again, like valid, that's fine.
Well, who cheated? Did Miley Cyrus get cheated on?
Oh, she
with
did
that
with
Thor?
Liam Hemsworth. Yeah, that's why
Was
she
he
made
Thor?
that
Is he the-
song. She made that song "Flowers."
No,
About-
he's the
He's
one
the
from
other
the Hunger
Hemsworth.
Games.
He's
Yeah.
the other Hemsworth.
He made that song "Flowers." Apparently, according to her, he had a bevy of girls that he would go and like use her beach house to like cheat on her with.
She can buy herself flowers. She can.
She can, and she
can.
did.
She can hold her own hand.
So I feel like we're finally back in the era of like we finally got like another
Power
co-star.
couples?
Yeah, like the power.
Because they know. Well, then Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, they didn't make the news, did they?
Oh, are they okay? Are they? Have you heard anything on them?
I feel like
I'm joking.
The thing is, you remember all of that because like you waited until the latest People magazine came out to see an article on that. It's every second of every day. We have kept up with everything with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds,
Katie
and
Holmes
all
and
of
Tom
that
Cruise.
stuff.
He hadn't even
See,
seen
I
his
miss
daughter.
the old days. I miss the old days of when it was in People magazine, or if it was the really bad ones, it was like the National Enquirer. Remember, they're like, we have the exclusive
Julia
source.
Roberts and Lyle Lovett.
But like the
Yeah, I told John about that she dumped what's his name, Kiefer Sutherland, like the day before the wedding, and then she like ran off with Lyle
called
Lovett.
Runaway Bride.
Yeah, exactly.
But like the Tom Cruise, Katie Holmes things, like it's like
the chair.
the most memorable thing from that is Oprah. So it's like waiting for Oprah to come on, when he jumped up and down on the couch. Like all of that stuff, we have it so much now that we see on Twitter, oh, they broke up, and then we just move on. Before it was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see the latest People magazine. I can't wait to see the latest Entertainment Tonight to see what finally happened in pop culture and with couples and everything. It's so much now that it happens more now than it ever happened before. It's just like so much that we're just desensitized to it now to where it's like,
But also,
okay,
I
whatever.
think is not Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt a bigger name than Tom Holland? I know Spider-Man and everything.
Oh, well, yeah.
I think
so that's why that's a major name is Tom Cruise.
I feel like with them, people loved it because like they were in a movie together. And it's like, oh, I love them. They're so cute in this movie together. I wish they would date in real life. And then it's like, oh, now they're engaged in real life.
And like they were A-listers that did a lot of different things. Tom Holland, the only successful thing he's really done has been Spider-Man. To where
What was the
he's got to
video
be
game one he did?
Uncharted.
Uncharted.
Like I can sit here and name a bunch of stuff that he's done. The average person says, "Oh, that's Spider-Man, right?"
Yeah.
Now he's going to be in Nolan's new film. Like maybe that helps a little bit. Like he still
Well, if
has.
Nolan casts you, you've got some kind of promise. You have some kind of.
And he's young enough. He's still got a long time to build that. Zendaya is already to the point where you can say, oh, she has done a million different things. She's a successful singer, to where like she's more of that aspect of that couple. But like Tom Holland, from the guy standpoint, because it's typically, I feel like, the guy that's, you think about Tom Cruise and all of his relationships. You don't think of like Nicole Kidman and all of her relationships, and Tom Cruise is just another one. You think with Brad Pitt, you think Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston. It's not like Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. It's the other way around. So like that's the thing, is that the guys now, Travis Kelce is still smaller than Taylor Swift is. I know football fans probably won't want to admit that, but it's the truth. But like he's a big enough name that like now that's why that's so big. Ryan Reynolds is a bigger name than Blake Lively is. So like that's why those are
disappearing
ones we hear.
Where's Amber Heard?
Oh, I think she's long gone. I mean, she was
chilling on an island somewhere.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I think she's. I don't think she's
and then
done.
Are they? Is Johnny Depp still? They keep saying they're going to reboot Pirates of the Caribbean. Is he?
I think he's doing it.
Yeah, I saw he got his teeth fixed finally.
I'll believe anything with him once I actually
he was
see
engaged
it,
to Winona Ryder at one point. Yeah, that was like. See, that was like the big one for him that I feel like people remember
very well together. But
it's like that. She's the one that's like after that. What was that? 4 or 5 years ago? That whole huge trial.
Yeah.
She just was she in Aquaman? Did they take her out of Aquaman? Or
no, she was in it, but she wasn't quite as in it as
is that
maybe
the last film she's been in?
Yeah, I think
like,
so.
They blacklisted her because I have not heard any. I don't know what she looks like. She could be here today. I could not pick
bring
Amber.
her on in.
I couldn't pick Amber Heard out of the
here.
lineup. I just know the name.
That was the last movie she was in, because that came out like Christmas time of 2023. So it hadn't been a year and a half since that came out.
Did they blame her for it bombing? Didn't it bomb?
I think they did.
I mean,
some of it
compared to the first one and stuff,
fault,
it wasn't her fault that it bombed. But
speaking of which, I'm super excited about Minecraft.
I'm actually looking forward. So like,
I don't like Jason
Does Jack
Momoa.
Black do everything?
He's in a band.
The thing is, Jack Black actually acting himself has almost disappeared.
Yeah.
He does tons of voice work.
I was surprised to see this was like in a live, like that he's actually acting in it, not just doing a voice.
And he's coming back for one reason. Tenacious D isn't a thing really anymore. So he's kind of coming back to the acting
I
side of
also
things.
think I've seen him. He was at something not too long ago, and he's like kind of trimmed up a little bit, and he's shaved.
He's doing Anaconda. For Anaconda, the promotion of that, he's starting to look a little better.
I think there is, his big movie that a lot of people like me will know from is The Holiday. That movie that has him and Cameron Diaz.
Mine is I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, where he plays a Jamaican.
He is in that.
He's got dreadlocks.
Yeah. But I think
Mine is Tropic Thunder.
I think they might be getting
Orange
ready
County.
to do a sequel to that, and I think he's trying to look a little bit better if he's going to be with Kate Winslet again.
I think with him, I think it's the Tenacious D thing that he was all in on that, and like it's easier just to be like, let's just sit back and play music and have fun and kind of goof off. When that went south, he kind of has ditched Kyle.
Played Claptrap
and he has started doing more voiceover work. Like, hey, let's do another Kung Fu Panda, which that came out last year. Claptrap. He does a lot of voiceover work, but now it's like I'm going to actually like legit act now. And I'm approaching Minecraft. He's been doing this. This has been his promotion of like, I want this movie to just be this stupid movie you go see because you have fun with stupid movies. Don't walk in thinking it's going to be some Oscar performance. No Minecraft movie is ever going to be that. No video game movie, period, for the most part, is going to be that. Like, the way he's approached it is like, I'm just trying to have fun. Like, I don't really care. I'm just trying to have fun.
Good.
So
I think he's made enough money now.
That's why I'm only looking forward to Minecraft. It does not look that good as far as like a cinematic experience. But like, if he's just on there goofing off and having fun, I think I'm going to very much like him in the movie. I don't think I'm going to like Jason Momoa and the other people in the movie. But like his aspect and like Jennifer Coolidge's aspect, because the whole thing is she ends up dating one of the villagers that like comes into the real world, and it's like a whole side angle.
She play like a slut.
She's the exact same person she always plays.
But I love her in White Lotus. You really do need to try to watch White Lotus. I think you would
White
love
Lotus
her
is
in
very
that.
good.
I have seen the first episode and a half of the first
I know,
season. I liked it.
Steve Zahn's thing.
Didn't somebody give birth in like the lobby or something like that? Like an employee?
It's the one who's she's in Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
She's like the classmate they make fun of in Donnie Darko.
And I like the show.
Murray Bartlett, I think, is really funny. He's the manager in the first one.
Okay.
And he has kind of come on lately. He was in The Last of Us, that really good episode with like him and Nick Offerman. And did you watch The Last of Us?
Yeah, I loved it.
So he's kind of come on and done a lot of really good things like that. He was in this weird movie I just watched on Hulu, but when her water breaks in the middle of the lobby, and it's like, I just thought she was fat. Like, I just died laughing.
So I thought it was a good show. We just didn't continue watching it. That was the thing. It's like I'm anti
because you
White
saw
Lotus.
Steve Zahn pulls
Well, I
pants
saw
off.
that one. I saw that. Like, I love Steve Zahn. I love he plays the same character. He's always like, "Hey, what?
Do you
where
remember
going?"
Saving Silverman?
I love Saving Silverman. It's
I
a
love
guilty
it
pleasure.
too,
Goes
yeah.
back to Jack Black.
Yeah, back to
He was
Jack
great
Black.
on That Thing You Do with the Oneaters.
Yeah.
I like Steve
Oh,
Zahn.
I love That Thing You Do.
Steve Zahn's great.
Yeah.
He like lives on a farm. It's like I just do roles to get money every now and then. He's like I don't live the Hollywood life. Steve Zahn's
He
great.
was on Righteous Gemstones too, wasn't he? Was that last year?
That was last year.
Yeah.
Yes, he was John Goodman's brother-in-law. Like he had married his sister and they got divorced. Last season was okay. The Righteous Gemstones this year is not very good.
I
so
never
far.
got into that. I like Danny
Can you believe
McBride
that The Connors is still on?
without Roseanne.
Yeah, it's
She's
just,
been off for like 3 seasons.
yeah, it's just John Goodman's the main
No,
guy.
no, she's been off for like I think she got booed after like the first season, so it's been on
Yeah.
for about 6 years without her.
It was incredible that they're still going. Darlene,
So,
I guess it's that nostalgia
Becky,
hit. That
Beck.
there's like a nostalgia because we're talking about this with who's on the Tim Allen show we were talking about.
Sean William Scott.
Oh, Sean was because he's on the Righteous
Stifler?
Gemstones too. He's on that this year, and he's Megan Mullally's son in the Righteous Gemstones.
And he's on a show now. It's Tim Allen, and he has a daughter. His daughter is Kat Dennings.
It's not
Yeah.
Last Man
And then
Standing.
Sean
It's
I don't know the name
Oh,
of
it's
it.
like it's like his daughter moved back in the house with him or something. That's
She
what
got
they-
like her kids and
and she
stuff.
got like a bit of an attitude.
Yeah.
They're like
Yeah.
smart to each other.
but
Yeah.
like those shows, I
Will you
feel
do,
like are
will you do
working.
your Tim Allen really quick?
Need more power.
Shifting gears. Yeah,
like you.
Tim Allen, Kat Dennings, Sean William Scott. But I feel like that show and what we just talked about, The Connors, that's like the old nostalgic hit from like when we were kids. That like my parents watching TV were watching that stuff. Like I was watching Roseanne, I was watching Home Improvement, I was watching that stuff growing up. That it's kind of that nostalgia hit of like, let's just keep doing it. Like if John Goodman's still gonna be here, that's a star. Let's keep doing it. And Tim Allen's gonna be here,
and the
that's a
laugh
star. Let's
tracks.
keep doing it.
I'm gonna give you before we wrap up. I'll give you a Lucy update because
Okay, good.
I've
Oh,
almost
God.
made it. This will conclude with the kitchen.
Wait a minute, we're
being
done.
fixed.
Yeah.
But in watching Lucy after they get back from California, it's like watching this show. It's like okay, that really worked. So it's like 2 episodes later, they're like Ricky got the call. He's going to do a world tour in Europe. It's like, is Ricky like that well known enough that he's able to like meet the queen and
But
go
don't
to
they like never leave the apartment though?
and here's what their first words are when they find out they're going to Europe. She's like, "Oh, I'm going to go ask Mrs. So and So who lives like up the hall that we never see to watch the baby for 2 months." It's like they're going to watch the baby for 2 months, and like, do they just ask neighbors? And then after they get back from that,
You have derailed.
then after they get back from that, it's like, well, we got to drive to Florida. It's like we're going on another like.
They couldn't take the baby with them.
You know what happens when John comes up from downstairs and gets ready to go to bed?
Puts his sunglasses on.
Click. Yes.
That means the day's ended.
I click, turn Lucy off, and put. She hates everything I watch. I just finished Reacher. It was pretty good. I finished.
I'm just out of it at that point.
You watched
I'm
Rings of
tired.
Power, didn't you?
I watched the first season.
Okay, I just finished both seasons. The second
Like the
season
season's
just
supposed
ended.
to be god awful, but like this, the
like
viewership
the second
just dropped. Like it dragged. That first season was alright. It just dragged and dragged and dragged.
It eventually kind of got there, and then I thought the second season was really good. You could tell they put a lot more money into it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of big scale fights and everything, but I liked it. But
I
every
liked
time,
the first season, but it was just so long.
every show I'd pull on, which I said the same thing about Lucy, every show I put on, and that was one of the ones I've been watching lately. The acting in this is so bad, and I'm
Got
like,
one.
it's not
What-
that
what is
bad.
it?
It's
I started watching. It's taken me 6 tries to watch one episode. Adolescence on Netflix.
I am
Oh.
like halfway through the first episode.
Is it all supposed to be one shot?
Yeah.
But is it all really one shot, or is it one of those
I think
tricks
it
like
is.
19s? Because that's
I've seen a lot of behind the
I think
scenes
it
stuff.
is,
It's
yeah.
pretty
that's
fascinating
insane.
to watch.
Because that's really well done. If that's all one shot, especially with kid actors.
We just started watching The Studio, the Seth
I
Rogen
think you'd
show.
like that
Yeah.
too.
The second they released the first 2 episodes.
The second
one of
episode
it-
had me stressed.
The second episode is an hour long, one shot. It never
It was
breaks.
stressful. It was very stressful.
It's very impressive the way they do something.
Well,
Like
that first
good.
episode of Adolescence.
that
I was
first
like,
that first episode, I won't say like the first half, but basically when they go and like arrest the kid.
yeah.
But like the guy talking on the phone goes and gets in the car, talks to his partner. They drive 3 blocks down the road, take the camera off, and like I've seen the behind the scenes of that shot, and like watching everything behind. It's fascinating. I'd love to see a camera from the other side.
Yeah.
So not what you're seeing, but what you're not seeing behind. There's so many people, and like they have the camera on the guy, then they attach it to a thing on the car. The car drives, they pop it back off, they run in the door,
That's
then they go
insane.
upstairs, they come back down, and I mean,
And the pressure on you if like I flub my line.
If you mess up,
screwed my line.
that's the
I'm
thing.
sorry, guys.
I mean, in a play, you can recover and it doesn't matter if there's like a little bit of a flub. In a TV show or a movie or whatever, when that happens, it has to be perfect or you have to start all over
I think
again.
La La Land was a lot of that stuff was one shot for what they did.
La La Land had a lot of it. And like they talked about in the studio, they're talking about how, because the whole thing is they're trying to get a one shot in a movie. And it's all about like the behind the scenes aspect, but that all is one shot. So it's even more impressive because like not only are you getting the actual scene from the movie, but you're getting all the camera work behind that, the sound people, the production assistants, all that. And they talk about like Children of Men, which has incredible one shots in it. That's why I love that movie so much. They mentioned
1917.
Oh, Birdman. Like Birdman is that way. Like how impressive all those movies are. Like to me, when a movie does that well, like when I grade movies on a scale of 5, whatever, if you can do that kind of stuff well, that'll give you a 4 out of 5, regardless of what else is there.
Well, it's a great idea.
That's why a movie like Civil War this past year, like I love because technically it's such an incredibly sound movie technically. And like when you can pull off shots like that and make them look that good, that's all I really care about in a movie is to make it really look good like that. And that's what drew me to Adolescence. I don't know that I'd really care about the story. I'm sure once I finish it, I'm only halfway through the first episode. I started watching it while she was gone and she came back and we started watching something else. But that is so impressive to watch that I just like watching the camera work. I don't even pay attention to the story. It's like, ooh, that shot. Ooh,
and just think,
that's what I was trying to think. And Bev's like, this is all one shot. I go, I can't tell if they're like showing on somebody's back to fade to black where they can do a quick edit to show. But I was like, no, this is literally one shot.
I feel like there's a reason it's only 4 episodes too, because it's like imagine doing that for a 10 episode.
Grueling.
But just think, this was all one shot.
I mean, I did cut the cameras though.
Well,
interrupt her.
I mean, they don't have to know that.
Yeah, Lucy and Ricky don't have to know
I do it
that.
in post, but yeah, I do. Yeah. Cut.
Well,
goodbye.
All right, that was wrapping it up. We did good on the wrap.
Yeah.
The wrap is really good.
Wrap.
We
3, 2, 1,
end things
wrap.
well. Land that plane, John. Land that plane. Have a good, stay safe in that weather out there. It's wet.
We'll see you next week.
Maybe.